Okay, guys, whiteboard time. I know that by now we understand logically how to build timelines and we understand the I am presence. But for me, I'm a very visual learner. So I thought that I would share this perspective and show you how to do advanced digging when you're looking for what is blocking you. Okay, so the idea that has really worked with me as I've been like rebuilding my self-concept and working on the assumptions that are buried in that subconscious place is kind of like putting it all out there, right? Like your life as like a timeline. And what you could do as well is you could copy this and do this for your old timeline, kind of like your I am not the script that you are kind of your subconscious has been reading off of from your old life, right? So remember, with the Christ consciousness, as we move into the fifth dimension, you literally have to die of that state, die of that person, die of those belief systems in order to crucify, cross over, resurrect, okay, and become the new you. So sounds easy breezy, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna start creating some new beliefs into my subconscious. And we're doing that. And we're affirming and we are deprogramming ourselves because ultimately that is how you are going to kind of destroy that old self. It is a program of the idea of you acting out patterns and stories in a subconscious kind of like it's like a holographic reality that it keeps putting you into the same set, into the same with the same co-stars, with the same props, with the same problems. And all no matter how bad you want to change who you are as the actor of that movie, you cannot change that movie as the actor. Okay, this is like really important. You have to drop the character and you have to go back and first edit. You have to then edit the script. If you don't like the way your virtual reality is set up, you do not like what you're looking at, what you don't know, like what's coming at you, you don't like what's coming out of you, you don't like what you have to play with. Remember, player, playground, playmates, that's all coming from the root program. So if you don't like that, you can't keep acting in physical reality and change it. Behavior without a complete trinity of change, which means mindset, thoughts, feelings, emotions, memories, these all have to be overridden and re-recorded. So the character archetype needs to be changed, which means like, what do you stand for? What motivates you? What leads you? What guides you? What prompts you? What pleases you? If some of these things that you're doing automatically are still from the old program of you, you might not be aware of it. Because again, you're not really going to become aware of your subconscious programming until it gets into the third chakra. The third chakra is where like the sun is yellow, like that's where like the light shines on your program. This is going to be how you demonstrate and how others are demonstrating back your script, which means that every single person in your simulation, in your virtual reality, is reading off of your script. This is why when you start affirming, the things that you are saying about yourself begin to come out of other people's mouth because they are literally affirming what you are affirming to yourself. Now, this is where I think a lot of self-concept teachers are kind of pushing the affirmation. But my body of work is more about lifestyle and heaven on earth, not just getting someone to text you or getting some dude to like you or getting a little bit of money. To me, it's like I would rather go without and go within and go back as the editor. Once I have edited the new script, well, then I have to kind of set it up and produce it, direct it, create the cinematography for it. And then the last part of that is the acting. Okay. Been on so many movie sets that is like months and months and months and months of work that happen way before an actor shows up on set. So when you're trying to change it as the actor, you are going to feel attacked. You're going to feel, you're going to go through the 5Ds and the 4 echoes, which we'll explain a little bit if I have time here. So ultimately, when you are looking at your I and your M, and you say, no, 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 I am abundant, I am free, I am safe, I am wealthy, I am loved, I am chosen. Okay. And what does that look like? It's not just like you're wearing a badge like I'm chosen and people are going to start choosing you. Choosing you for what? To hit you with their car? So you want to be specific about what you were chosen for. So this is why just affirming blindly, robotically is going to get you all kinds of distortion, but it isn't going to change your root point. So if you look at this, your virtual reality is laid out in timelines. Okay. So, and again, every time you change your mind, your direction of your timeline alters. But because of the belief systems that you have in your subconscious mind, you could have a big like aha moment and you could be like profoundly different in that state. But if your root first point, okay, so shortest distance between a straight line is like, a straight 2 points is a straight line. So you want to think of your reality in timelines, and they are held together by dual focal points. Okay. You have the I and you have the M. So every single thing that you came here to demonstrate, to manifest, okay, to actualize is all like self-contained within you. So it's almost like you came in with the lines of your script already in your heart. The only thing you needed to do is show up on set and make your performance so believable that it literally creates a truth of who you are. So when you have been programmed your first 7 years on basically your parents' traumatic script or the collective consciousness script, or and I would say that that is kind of like your religion and your group think and your parents and your lineage and all that stuff. So that original script has to be changed unless you literally had like the perfect scenario, and if you did, you wouldn't be watching this. Okay, so you want to go back and change that script first, because ultimately, if you look at your timeline that you're on, you're not going to be able to make big changes on this timeline, because ultimately you may see evidence. You may see, your reticular activator starts looking at red cars if you're shopping for a red car. But I'm talking about tangible changes in your physical reality, right? Like different types of people showing up, different opportunities. People that were attacking you are loving you. I mean, like substantial changes will not happen unless you go back to that first point and you create a new timeline. Okay, so I think what happens is we get the script, you start motion moving, we then, we don't like how our childhood goes, so we're like, we vow that we're going to be different, but we're vowing that we're different, trying to get to that second point where we believe that everything that we want is waiting for us, the person, the place, the thing, the money, the success. And so we're like pretending that we're on this forward motion. But here's the thing, whatever that first point says about you, and most of it says, I am not chosen, I am not worthy, I am not deserving. And you have no idea, well, you do if you actually look at the structure of your childhood, like what you were allowed to do, what you weren't allowed to do, how you were treated, where did you fall in rank, what was your character position, all that stuff. If you haven't examined that, you're probably really frustrated with the Neville Goddard work or any of the Imagineering teachers. Okay, because ultimately, yes, imagination does create reality, but you are held together by the first I. The first I represents I imagine my nation, I am. So the I is the one who is the awareness of the desire within. That desire you brought forth with you. You didn't just think of it. You brought it into this reality to manifest. You knew that you were going to be using time and space. You knew you were going to be using electromagnetic energy. You knew you were going to be in contrast. So what the fastest point here, the ultimate biohacking for you to, get out of the stuck points that you feel you're in right now, is to go back and examine that first point. Who am I really? And who would I prefer to be? Because remember, law of attraction does not bring you what you want, it brings you what you are, and you may not know who that is. So you have to examine your reality. All right. And so once you do that and you re-engineer your backstory and you then create a new script, you start a whole new timeline, which means new man. This is the idea of like in the Christianity where it's like you're born again. Okay, because this is the Christ consciousness. So you want to be born again. You don't want to be kind of sort of like you were. Otherwise, you're going to have bittersweet manifestations and you're going to still be on that old timeline new. And that's going to feel like hell on earth. Okay, which probably already does. So you want to go back to that first point and you want to reaffirm with all the intention that you have who you choose to be. Jesus Christ stands for choose salvation. So you get to choose your own character. You get to choose your own reality now. But you've got to do it in a way where you are in all of your blind spots. Because if you are not actively moving through and looking at all the different mirrors correctly, you may miss something. And so if you're feeling very blocked or stuck or lost right now, this will help you. So this first point is the I. This is the desire. Okay, this is like, I have this story inside of me that I want to share. So never once look at the I as something that's lacking. Look at it as something that you want to birth out of you that already exists. It's already that spiritual heart. Okay. And what you want to do is you want to actualize it. You want to first embody it and then actualize it. You want to demonstrate it. You want to manifest it. Okay. So now if you look in the middle, I've created the middle point. And at the end, I've created the second point. So all timelines are I am. In the middle is the reality that is the bridge of incidents that is going to get you basically embodied, realized, practiced, prepared for, courageous, loving, surrendered, all of those wonderful things. You got to get to that point where then you get to that second point. Okay. And that second point is you living that timeline, which means you're not desiring it. You are living in it. So Neville Goddard's work, this is the desire. This is the wish fulfilled. Those are 2 points. Now, if you look in the middle, okay, I didn't have room to write, but where it's the green and there's a diamond. So that represents what we call in quantum physics as 0 point energy. This is the balance point. Okay. And this is going to be where the heart chakra resides, because the heart chakra remains in a neutral, loving place. So it's like if you were going to have a toolbox that you brought here from heaven to remember and carpenter who you were, it's all going to be found in your heart. Okay. It's going to be found in the heart's desires, not in your superficial desires, not in your survival desires, but your heart field desires. Okay. So that's why I put it in the middle, because it represents that balance between the desire, the wish fulfilled. The middle point is going to be your strongest force. And this is going to be where it begins to tip, right? So it's like it's going to start to tip like that. And you're going to be really, really challenged this entire walk through the shadow of death, through your old crucifixion, to get to the new second point that you've created. And the way, the reason that you walk through it is because you to embody it full of awareness, the emotional body, the subtle body, the physical body, the etherical body, all have to be in unified awareness of this first point, because you have to go together. It's unity consciousness. You can't be like, your emotional body's stuck in your childhood, your subtle body's like under attack, like your physical body's like got, some sort of like disease, and then you're like, I am healthy, right? You're all in different areas. And so you're going to face the challenges in each one of your chakras that show you where you are out of alignment. And this is where I have created the foolproof, like, blind spot decoder for you. Okay, so you've got the I, and that is going to be the I, like, represent like who you choose to be, right? So it's just like, okay, if you are loved, what would that person be like? Okay, so you want to do some good work to kind of like look at that character archetype and that avatar, as far as like, what's my motivation? Like, why am I loved? What have I done? Or oh, okay, well, let's add on to it. So good. Why do I feel loved? Okay. Oh, because, I'm just me, and I get to be all of me. And when I'm all of me, everybody loves it. And, I get paid just to exist. And it doesn't matter how grandiose or delusional that sounds. If you can literally create a stronghold on that belief, regardless of how impossible I am possible, it appears you can manifest it. It does not matter. It is law. Literally, energy is just collaborating and aligning with that which you focus on. So law of attraction is going where you are focused, nowhere else. You may not know where the bigger part of you is focused, because remember, what you think you are is the conscious mind, and that is 5% of your vibration. Who you are in the script, the actor, the avatar, right? The archetype, that if you haven't changed your script, you are still reading off of it in the field. So you create your new I. All right. And here's how you don't get lost on the bridge, because especially when you start to get towards the middle of this, and you can't see forward and you can't see backward, and it seems like all hell's breaking loose, and you're having mental warfare, and like things that you've asked to manifest are like becoming less, like you're losing things, not getting things. You will experience all of these things if you have a completely different I am than you are assuming, which is normal. Okay. So once you create an affirmation, now it is your job to make that firm. Okay. And you have to make an impression on your subconscious mind, which is the root. So the bottom 3 chakras right below the heart are going to be your unconscious states. Those are going to be your automatic, programmed, patterned bloodline, lineage, childhood programming. Okay. Your heart represents non-duality, unconditional love, desire, light, information, awareness, telepathy, all that good stuff. And then the top 3 chakras represent your spiritual awareness, your eternal being, your supernatural beingness of God, your child of God energy. So this is going to be obviously where all of your desire is going to be remembered, because down here, you're just acting out like a zombie. Okay. You don't know that you're even acting it out until you get really smacked in the face and like, what am I doing? And why are you doing that? Until you start to question it, you don't know you're reading off a script. So the thing that I have found is that once you have really affirmed into your root, which is the womb of creation, and that represents the subconscious, and in the art of polarity, it's represented as the feminine, because the womb is where the new I am will be impressed, impregnated, and that's going to be the seed. Now, the dirt, the soil that the seed is placed in is your belief systems. Okay. So if all of these belief systems say you are not, you are not, you are not, you are not, then that seed might not grow, or it might grow the opposite. So you have to pay attention to what is manifesting once you start affirming. You've got to see what is manifesting towards you when you start affirming. So that's like that is going to be your foundation of your new script. This is why, like I said, re-engineering and doing all these things are important. So now let's move over into the sacral chakra. Now, the sacral is the chakra that and this is all like these 7 points here are all part of a line. That's why you have 7 cycles. You've got like everything you see in nature that creates this rhythm is in 7s. And this is why I did it this way so you could see. So the second point is going to be your I create. Now, if you go back to your first point, I am, then when you start to move into I create, it should align with the first I am. So if you're noticing that I am loved, but I'm creating drama, or drama is being created at me, you can see right there to stop. Okay, right there, that is your first blind spot. What am I creating and what is being created at me? Because if I'm like fighting my reality and I'm like, getting triggered all over the place, well, you are creating conflict, you are creating drama, you are creating a focal point that says you are not. Because if I affirm that I am, let's just use the word I am healthy, okay? And then I start to move that energy into my thoughts, my feelings, my moods, my vision boards, my affirmations. But what I am physically creating is the opposite, or what is being created at me feels like the opposite, then all I would have to do, this will happen. Okay, because this is already programmed with your old self. So again, as soon as you start affirming, not everything's just gonna, the red seas aren't gonna part yet. So you're gonna start to see in each chakra where this original script is embedded, so that you don't waste time getting all caught up in triggers, getting all caught up in conflict, getting terrified, feeling like you don't deserve this, like God doesn't love you, everybody can do this except you, right? If you just stop right there and go, wow, this old script is still creating this. My body is still creating this drama. My body is still taking this personally. My body is still feeling devalued. It's still creating that reality. Okay, because your sacral chakra is where that I am begins to birth itself. So you will see. So your job is to hold firm, affirm in the conflict, in the hurricane, in the chaos of your old world, like the ghosts of all your old stories coming up and all the conflict that you've been repressing and the pain that you've been, using addiction to cover up, it all starts to come out. And what you do is you stand firm in that chaos and you find the eye of that storm and you affirm, 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 affirm. This is where like inner work goes. Okay, I really need to purge what I created. I really need to let go of what I've created, right? I need to get balanced with what I've created. I need to stop creating that. I need to stop letting someone else create that. So this is inventory. This is not, nope, you don't get it at all. This is inventory. So if you look at every single thing that's coming at you and things that are coming at you that don't align with what you just affirmed, then you find the eye of your storm and you start letting go and making changes. It's like an artist walks in, it's like, I don't like this painting. Okay, but they're not going to throw in a fit. This doesn't work. God doesn't love me. You got to walk in and you got to clear that slate. So the best thing you could create in your second chakra would be a clean slate. Now, what that's going to do is the new seeds that are growing, okay, well, now it has a clear path. It has a non-trigger reaction, because here's the thing, where energy flows, right? Attention goes, energy flows. So your subconscious decides whether or not that program of the past is still active by if you are participating with it, if you are engaging in it, if you are interacting with it. Okay, now you can get triggered AF and you stand there and you absorb the shock, and you say, okay, this is my old creation. I am not going to take any of this personally. I am going to stand with I'm going to dig my feet into the sand while that wave is hitting me, and I'm going to remember my I am. And then once that wave crashes, then that trigger is neutralized. Now I'm going to start cleaning house. All the things I have created, all the things I let go of. Now I'll create new affirmations that I'll listen to, new programs, right? I will create new hypnosis, because again, you are under hypnosis of your old script. So you have to deprogram yourself. So if you actually just don't interact and you get really firm, okay, this is going to take courage and confidence. So this may take you a few steps. You're going to fall down and you're going to get yourself back up. But if you can get yourself on a clean slate and you can become disillusioned from what you are seeing happening around you, when you can be the artist that's working off a clean slate no matter what, affirming, people are saying they don't love you, and you're affirming, I'm loved. Okay, that's your opinion, but you're about to leave. You're not going to be in my next movie. Okay, so you affirm and you hold firm. Clean the slate. That would be your best way to use your new I am sacral. Okay. Number 3, that third chakra, that third point. Okay, that's going to be where you start to see your body demonstrating the opposite. You're going to start to see the world demonstrating the opposite. Okay. And when you have that happen, you will see. Sorry, guys. I just want to, I'm 10 minutes late to a session, but I want to finish this. Okay. So you will start to see your own body demonstrate the opposite of your I am. You'll want to take that loser person back because you feel lonely. You're going to want to eat that thing. You're going to want to do that old thing that your body's done a million times, because that is what the body is more comfortable with, especially in scary situations of new. Like, your brain is so obsessed with you staying comfortable and out of pain that it'll feel like your whole body is literally like sabotaging you. You will sabotage here physically in demonstration. Now look at that word, demonstration. That first word is demon. So it is said that your bottom 3 chakras are hell. And so if you look and see what you are demonstrating, you will actually see where your body does not believe yet this I am. So in this space is where you want to learn how to get into the body. So your demonstration, instead of popping out into the world and interacting and trying to make all these I ams happen in physical, and go to a gym and get on a diet and do anything in physical reality. Remember, the actor, it has to create a whole new movie, and you have to work off of a new script. So you're not going to have anything in circumstances that have your back right now at all. Not anything. It's going to be me, myself, and I. So the demonstration that is going to biohack you right into the heart chakra is to learn the art of imagineering. And the art of imagineering is when you literally collapse this world around you and you go within and you begin to give your physical body, your cells, your muscles, your brain waves, your neural pathways, your gut, your liver, your kidneys, your blood, your lymph. You give them with all of your 5 senses and your 6th sense. You give them the show. You show your body through imagination that which you are becoming. You take your body to the end, the wish fulfilled, and you literally, you feel it until your body's hormones begin to change, which means that you go from needing a dopamine hit of a piece of cake to doing this process and feeling literally like oxytocin is running through you. Your brain and body do not know the difference between imagination and real. So if the awareness of the I does not interrupt the program and begin to take the body into a new simulation, the body will never go with you to the end of this. The body will go to the other script, because that is what is practiced more. That's where the neural pathways are. That's where the cravings are. That's where it knows. It doesn't know you, this new I, and it doesn't believe in that second point whatsoever. So this is where you when you go without, you go within. You begin to demonstrate on the inside of your body. You take your body to ecstasy. You take your body to the end. You take your body to the wish fulfilled. You haven't left your room. You are in the virtual reality of your choice. Okay, you're not watching movies, you're not doing anything out there. You're creating this new quantum entanglement with your wish fulfilled. Your cells will begin to mold around the new story if you are consistent, which means you can't do this one time. This needs to be part of your daily practice where I'm taking my body to the new house. So it's like if you were going to build a house, you would probably go visit it. Okay. And after some time, you would begin to get used to it. But even when you lived in it for a while, it wouldn't feel as comfortable as you think in some ways because your body is so used to what it is from Imagineering process. And I have like 150 different Imagineering processes to basically biohack the hormonal body and re-encode the cellular memory and basically rebuild the muscle memory all through imagination. Okay. So now it brings us to that heart chakra, which is basically the heart chakra is kind of like streaming this story. This isn't coming from survival. This isn't coming from a heartbreak. This isn't coming from like what I want to get back at my dad. This is coming from like, I am a child of God and this is what I want to create on this planet. This is what I want to share. This is who I am. All right. So if we can get past that point, you will begin to believe, because the throat chakra is a micro of the root chakra. It's like whatever your I am believes, you will speak and others will speak to you. So this is where you're going to start speaking it. Okay. This is where you're going to start hearing your affirmations coming back to you. You've crossed the threshold. You are almost there. Now, what you want is you want to also like you embody it so much that now you feel confident in truly expressing what has been impressed. Okay, so that's going to be, you may have a lot more challenges there, but you might not. If you've done enough Imagineering work, I'm telling you guys, the biohack is in that demonstration chakra. It is in that solar plexus. If you can stop interacting with 3D, circumstances don't matter. You're not taking your cue from how people are treating you or what's coming in, and you just hold firm, affirm. And by the time you get to the throat chakra, it will be ease and flow. You'll sound like you are a guru. Okay. Now, if you can get to that next point, which you will, you're going to basically see. You're going to start to see it. You're going to start to, like, I love that third eye because the best way to explain it is I see how you feel. So you're going to feel like the new I am, like you're going to see yourself differently. And when you see yourself differently, your entire world will see you differently. And then we're going to get to that last chakra. And this is your second point. So I am that I am. I am that I know I am. So your bridge of incidence, your journey, okay, is the distance between your 2 points, who I say I want to be and who I actually am. So if you're falling down, print this out. Okay. I will put the PDF in the comments or in the description so that you guys can have it and you can like write on it. You can write your I am, you can look at it, because this is a great visual to understand that once you get to that center point, that is your 0 point energy. That is where you are able to access infinite potential, infinite worlds, infinite downloads. Okay. So if you can get those 3 chakras, which is considered hell, like your foot is heel for hell, head, heaven, this is the separation. And so our job here is, as children of God, is to embody a body that's literally a hybrid between heaven and hell. And your job is to make the lower 3 chakras conscious through your personal choice and awareness, become the Christed version of yourself or the saved version of yourself that is choosing their own reality. Okay, so I just want to give you guys a quick video, and hopefully that this helps you really know yourself. Okay, all right, we're going to stop here.